Before our devices tracked our every move, that tracking had to be done by hand. Project Talent is one of the largest and longest running studies on U.S. high school students, with a key focus on identifying psychological, intellectual, and behavioral traits for military and intelligence purposes. And before you get concerned that you might have been part of this program, you probably weren't. This project was launched in 1959 by the U.S. Department of Education and funded by the U.S. Air Force. The participants were over 440,000 high school students, grades 9 through 12 across 1,300 U.S. high schools. The goal on paper was to identify talented individuals for military roles. The initial testing took 4 days to complete, and students completed a wide range of assessments covering cognitive ability like math, reading, and reasoning, personality traits and vocational interests, creativity and leadership potential, and health history and family background. This was during the Cold War, so they were trying to identify talent in scientific and technical areas and possible leadership talent. Now, the project didn't stop after the 4 days of testing. Project Talent followed these participants over years, collecting data on their career choices, education choices, life outcomes, making it a massive psychological database that could be used in the future. Now remember, there were no new participants added to this study after 1959. But the original 440,000 students did have follow-up surveys throughout years, in intervals of 1, 5, and 11 years after graduation. Additional follow-up surveys were completed by these participants in the 70s, 80s, 2000s, and 2010s. And these follow-ups focused on career outcomes, family and marital status, education attainment, military service, and psychological well-being. Now this just sounds like gathering information. How could this be used for darker purposes? Well, because it became a social control tool. This data was shared with intelligence agencies. There was suspicion that the data collected by Project Talent was given to these three-letter agencies to track potential recruits into these secretive programs. And I'm sure some of these students knew that they were being recruited into these programs, but how about the ones that didn't know they were being recruited? Now, this is just speculation, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. We know during this time they were doing a lot of programs that did not include consent. Critics argue that collecting these personal traits might be used to steer individuals into certain societal roles, essentially shaping future elites and controlling class structures. Some psychologists have speculated that programs like Project Talent could have indirectly led to behavioral research used to study high-functioning individuals like serial unalivers and cult leaders. But of course, that's just speculation. Now, much of the original data from Project Talent has been sealed or lost, which is kind of suspicious for a benign educational study. The next project I'm going to look into is Subproject 136 of Project MK You Know What, and that one targeted gifted students with psychic abilities. What are your thoughts on this?